Hey y'all, I'm Elisa and I am the Scrappy Wife behind ScrappyWife.com, and today I have a Bible journaling process video for you. I am working with a new print and pray set from Kelly Bangs, and this is called Flashcard Fun, and it is super fun. Let me just show you what it is all about. Now I've printed 3 copies because I'm going to use this with my kiddos, but what it is these DIY flashcards. So you can cut out the cards. They have different words, paint. Here's the 2 sets: paint, nativity, pen, prayer, Bible. And then she has given you some images that you could use to put on your flashcards, or you could find images of your own, create your own images, and then add your letter, and then you have a flashcard, which is a super fun kind of back to school theme. There's also a few other elements in the set that I've already cut out to use on my page today. Here's some more pieces that go with the set. So I am wanting to create a page in Micah today, and I'm going to show you how I plan on using these flashcards on my page. All right, I will make sure to link everything down below. Otherwise, let's go. I have pulled out my Jane Davenport deep sea die cutting machine, and this metal die from Tim Holtz, and it creates kind of a pocket card. It looks like a kind of a pocket library card, but it has multiple slats in it, and I think it's going to be a great place to kind of nestle these flashcards on my Bible page. This is some scrap paper from Felicity Jane. I am loving the wood tones for the fall, and I think they are a good combination with the pastels that are in this kit. It kind of warms it up just a bit. So I will make my die cutting sandwich like you do, and then you just roll it through the machine and it cuts out. Now normally I use my Cricut or my Silhouette to cut out things, but one cool function with die cutting is that you can have embossed pieces as well. So each of these pieces, it's hard to see on the video, but it has a texture to them, some slight embossing, which means kind of an imprint on them, and it adds just a little bit more interest to your page. So it's nice to kind of collect these metal dies if you have a die cutting machine and use them in addition to the other cutting machines you might have in your craft room. I have grabbed an additional journaling card from Felicity Jane that I'm going to use to kind of back my slats here so that it really makes a nice little pocket for the flashcards to live. I'm putting adhesive just on the sides there so that it will still function as a pocket. I'll trim off the top and then just add that little label there at the bottom, and I chose that pink because it really matches in with the pastels in the kit. This is definitely a page where I use a lot of supplies from a lot of different companies, which you totally can do. There are some great scrapbooking companies, some great Bible journaling companies out there, and a lot of different supplies available. So don't feel like you have to just stick with one or the other. Use everything that's in your craft room. I'm flipping through the flashcards that come in the kit, and I'm wanting to choose 3 that I feel like illustrate the 3 instructions in Micah 6:8, which are to act justly, love faithfulness, and walk humbly with your God. And so I'm choosing seek, as in seeking justice, to act justly, and then I'm going to go with prayer, which is loving faithfulness to me, and then the Bible, walking humbly with your God. And to me, those images and those words kind of illustrate those 3 instructions. These flashcards are super fun and simple to make, which is why you saw in the opening that I have printed sets for my kiddos to use as well. I am matting them on some colorful paper from Felicity Jane, just some scraps in my stash just to add a little extra burst of color. And you can see that I cut out some of the icons from the sheets that Kelly provided, but you can certainly draw your own in. If you're working with your kids, then have them draw them in. That would be a great activity for them to do, maybe on a Sunday afternoon, to work on some flashcards. Now, I've pulled out the Simon Alpha stamp set from By the Well for God, and I'm going to use those to add the letters to the flashcards, because of course flashcards have a pretty significant letter on them a lot. So I'll start with S for seek, and I'm going to try to get a nice bold impression there. And I love these different alphas. I think they're such a fun font. So then I will do P for prayer. And I'm using VersaFine Onyx Black ink, definitely my go-to black ink because I feel like it gives a really crisp image. You can see I didn't really ink that one up well, so I'll go over it because I wanted it to be a nice, bold, dark color. So, and then lastly, I will do the B for Bible. There isn't a capital B in this set, but that doesn't bother me too much. So I'll just use this B. And then once I have all of those on, now I just have to add the icons on. And I'm going to use this Xyron sticker maker that was sent to me by an awesome subscriber who saw me fussing with little tiny pieces and said, you need to get one of these. And this one's awesome. This is the 3-inch one, and I love it. So you just put the die cuts in one side, you pull it through the other side, and it makes them into stickers. You can see you just pull off the plastic, and now there's stickiness, I don't know, stickiness on the back that creates stickers, and it makes it really easy to adhere, especially those little pieces that we work with sometimes. So thank you so much to Nancy for sending that to me. I love it. As I'm getting these adhered, you can see that my prayer ends up being a little bit off center, which kind of bugs me. So I'm actually going to bring in a couple other elements, and now I should have gone back to my Xyron sticker maker. Now I'm fussing with the tape dispenser like I used to, but I'm going to add in this little journal and the pen because I often do my prayer in journal form. So I add those in just to kind of even out that card because it was just throwing me off that the prayer hands were off center. So now that feels a little bit better. I can nestle all of these in my little pocket that I created earlier, and they are ready to go onto my page. As I'm starting to get everything nestled on the page, I just love the simplicity of this set, and that's why it made me think of Micah. I feel like so often we make things more difficult than they need to be. You know, we're called to have a childlike faith, not to be childish, but to have a childlike faith, and I think that this set really brings that out. I just love the simplicity of it. I decided I wanted to do a little mixed media in the background. You can see I have this box from Felicity Jane, and I use it to help contain the mess when I am using these Dina Wakley gloss sprays, because if you have these, you know they do have a tendency to get everywhere. I love the look of them, but I have already stained my main desk with them, so I'm trying to be really careful, and this box certainly helps. So I've pulled 3 colors, and it looks kind of like a hot mess right now, but there's a lot going to be layered on top of these, and so most of it gets covered up, and you just get that hint of color, which is a lot of fun. You need to let the Dina Wakley gloss sprays air dry, or else they kind of burn because they have like a plastic to them, so because they're acrylic, so if you're using your heat gun, it can kind of mess with the finish. So make sure to let those air dry, and now I'm just adhering some different pieces on top. I love the big bold purpose, our purpose that God gives us, and then the promises layered in with the promises, and then I have my little flashcards as reminders and as great journaling spots as I reflect on this verse. Once all of those are on the page, I will start working on my title, which will be Keep It Simple, Sister. And I feel like so many times Christians get caught up in some of the little things, and really faith can be very simple. We're called to act justly, love faithfulness, and walk humbly with your God. So focusing on those 3 elements of your faith will really allow you to flourish on that journey. So I just wanted that reminder of it doesn't have to be so hard. We're not guaranteed an easy life for sure, but your faith journey doesn't have to be so difficult. Just focus on the simple message that God gives us in Micah. I've pulled out another stamp set from By the Well for God. This is the outliner set, and I'm going to use it to stamp out Micah because I want to put the passage down below. So I'll stamp out Micah. I'm trying to consider where the numbers are going to go, so I think maybe I'll move it up, but I'll center the Micah, and then I end up pulling out some more alpha stickers for the numbers, just because I wanted them to be big and bold. Everything on this page is big, like it's an over-the-top page because there was so much room in this section, which is one of the things I love about these illustrating Bibles, is that there's a lot of room to play without covering up any text. So that same alpha that's in the title, I will pull down for the numbers, which is great because it brings that color down to that part of the page as well. Now I'm definitely going to bracket off the verse, and then I want to underline those 3 instructions that I am focused on right there. I wanted to make that just a little bit more bold. Now I'm considering how the tabs are going to work. I want to bring back in the colors that I used to matte those flashcards, plus a little bit of that wood tone, because now it's the only piece on the page, and so I wanted to bring it in again. So I'm using my tab punch that I love to cut out some more tabs, and then I will layer those at the top of the page and label them with that KISS. Keep it simple, sister acronym. I am loving this flashcard set. It just leaves a lot of room for your own creativity, and it can be as simple or as complicated as you like as you work through these flashcards. Once I get these tabs set up here, that will be it for this page. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider hitting that subscribe button as well as the bell notification button. I have all of the supplies that I used linked down below. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions, and I'd be happy to answer them. I hope that you have a fabulous day, and as always, keep it creative.